Hello and welcome to the SP review of 2024. We've come a long, long way, baby. We've come a long way together. We've come all the way to March. You see, the thing about March is it feels quite funny now because one of my highlights of March was having confirmation, absolute confirmation, that there was not going to be an election in May. So in my head, I was like, oh, brilliant. Autumn election as planned. Let's go. I didn't realise that no election in May didn't mean no election in July. We also had that Lee Anderson moved over to Reform, became Reform's first ever MP. And then he's obviously now quite a big, Reform are a bigger party, and he's a big part of that. None of which made it onto our top 5 posts. So let's get into the top 5 posts of March on SP. In at 5, International Women's Day. I like International Women. They're really cool. I don't know, are they like people who work on, like as cabin crew? Is that an international woman? Refugees, maybe. Immigrants, migrant women would be international. Someone who's been to Cardiff and London. International women. Anyway, it was International Women's Day, and we said, hey, how are we going to celebrate? And we got like 400 plus ideas, and loads of people liked it. It was a good post. In at 4 was the news that we were in recession. Recession is when GDP, when like all the money is shrinking a bit for like 2 quarters in a row. Okay, that's what a recession is. That happened, but it was like shrinking by like this much. And everyone was like, it's going to be really short. And actually, because we're not in March now, I can look back and I can tell you that it was really short. It was like 1 quarter, so. I don't really know why it was in at 4. I think I wrote some really good posts in March, and this one was really boring. Okay, so 3 was a foreign affairs story, really. We don't really do foreign affairs, but number 3 was the UN Security Council called for a ceasefire in Gaza. And the reason it was on SP is because the UK voted for it, which is a big thing for the Conservative government to do. And they voted for a ceasefire in Gaza. If you're paying attention to these things, you'll know that that was March and this is now. There's no ceasefire. There was a brief humanitarian pause at some point. The recession we were talking about in at 4, brief. The war in Gaza, not brief. Horrific. In Brighton news, number 2 is Martin Lewis from Money Saving Expert. Everybody loves him. Everybody wants to marry Martin Lewis. That's my Martin Lewis song. He was saying that we've got to normalise being able to say, do you know what? No thanks, I can't afford it. Like, if someone says, hey, do you want to go pub? You've got to normalise being able to say, I cannot afford to go and spend, what's £5 a pint? Now, I'd rather stay home. Or can we come around here or whatever? There's still a stigma attached to saying no, especially it's no because of money, because we're British and we're odd. Number 1 is always number 1, always in our top 5, top 10 posts of the year, all the time. The clock's changed, and we put up a post that says the clock's changed. I think this year I got a little bit emotional and said there will be light or something. That's quite a me thing to do. I've not really anything more to say. There was light. I said the clocks would change and there'd be more light. And was I right? Yes, I was. Doesn't happen often. Let's celebrate it when it does. Do you want to see some April? The thing about April is that you think, like spring, we're going to get there, and then it lets you down. I don't know if you know anyone called April. I don't know if they also let you down consistently. In April 2024, all kinds of things were happening. Like up in Scotland, Humza Yousaf resigned. The Rwanda bill passed. The bill was going to send asylum seekers to Rwanda. That passed. And then a post that I really thought would have been in the top 5 was when Rishi Sunak apologised for wearing Sambas, Adidas Sambas, their shoes, for those of you who are uninitiated in the way of the Samba. And he said, I'm sorry, because he's made them not cool. That all happened in April, but none of that got into the top 5. Oh, no. In at 5, privately owned car parks all got together. No, the people that run privately owned car parks got together. The car parks didn't get together. That's a stupid thing to think. They all got together and they agreed like a charter. They agreed like a set of rules. It was quite boring. But one of the rules was that everyone gets 10 minutes, right? When your tickets run out, you won't get a sticker. You won't get a sticker with a fine on it, because maybe that's how it works, until after 10 minutes after you've run out. So it's not that interesting, but it was in at 5. You wet wipe. In at 4, wet wipes containing plastic going to be banned. Wet wipes are really, really useful when you are changing babies' nappies. I have 3 biological children. I was changing nappies for years and years and years. I don't think there's another reason to use them though. And in fact, you probably could use whatever else. I don't know if the insult's going to be banned as well, or if you'll still be allowed to call somebody a wet wipe in this slightly aggressive manner. I guess that's up to Labour. In at 3 is a post that will remind you of the fickleness of life. In April, all we were talking about was an MP called Dan Poulter. Now, no one remembers who Dan Poulter is. So Dan Poulter, who was a doctor who nobody really knew, was an MP, and he defected from the Conservative Party to the Labour Party, saying he couldn't look his patients in the eye, knowing that he was part of the Conservative Party. And that was really, I mean, it's quite damning for the Conservative Party. But by this stage, everything was. We are ending this year. We have ended this year with a Labour government, and we started with a Conservative government. And that was the only way it was ever going to be. The time of the election, we didn't know. But this kind of story about the MP defecting is like, yeah, that's what was going on. In at 2, it was your last chance to register for the May elections. And if you're watching that and you're like, oh gosh, it's my last chance, like your last chance went ages ago. Like the elections have gone. It's happened. But you can still register to vote for next year's local elections, which take place in May and are really important. So do register to vote now, even though you can't register to vote for an election that's passed, because that's how time works. Still, if you haven't registered to vote, register to vote now. In at 1, if ever a post was going to guarantee to be in at 1, it is MPs saying that you have to have the right to a pet. So that if you rent, your landlord has to give a reasonable reason not to allow you to have a pet, rather than anything else. The idea is to make your rented flat or your rented house more of your home. You have to have insurance for the flat to make sure if it, I don't know what dogs do. If it graffitied the walls of the flat, then it'd be covered with insurance and stuff. People thought that was quite cool. They were into that. So that was April. And we've now done January, we've done February, we've done March, we've done April. We need to do May and June. That's what you'll get if you watch the next video, which will be out in a couple of days, May and June. Thank you very much. Love you, bye.